Hi everyone, welcome back, where I talk about how we can use the higher order learning levels in Bloom's taxonomy when we are learning anything new. So last time we were talking about the analyze stage, where I said we should start. And when we have new sort of information to learn, the best thing is to see first how everything is connected. That way you can form a diagram of groups that are connected to each other with similar terms in them. Like, for example, if I have to learn these new words like apples, bananas, rice, beef, and chicken, I first figure out basically how they're all connected. And I have done that here in this mind map, where I've sort of given the title of everything as food, because it is that. And then I've split these terms into related groups of food. For example, under apples and bananas, you can see that they're in the group of fruit, and rice comes under grains, and beef and chicken come under protein. Now, this is just the stage where you divide everything up into groups of similar terms that are related to each other, and you also connect them to show the big picture. So you see everything as food, but it has been divided into groups which are similar, like, for example, fruit, grains, and protein. And in each one, you can see which terms come in there. So now I have an idea of everything in terms of groups, not just individual items one by one, but I can now try and remember the groups as well, and therefore form a stronger connection between all these items. And this will help me to remember things better when I have to revise it, for example, when I have to remember it before an exam, rather than just trying to learn what each individual word means, which is under the lower order learning of understand. Now, in this lesson, we will go on to the next stage, which is evaluate. And this is the most important stage following analyze, where once you've formed your groups, you basically then figure out what are their effects on each other, and what is their importance, and what are their advantages and disadvantages. You try and critique basically what you've learned to see how important it is and what its effect is. In this case, of course, you're just simply learning basic information, but you can sort of extend that. Now, when you have like groups of food, you can see that they have various effects. Like, for example, apples and bananas can be used for energy requirements, and so can rice. And I'm drawing here basically an extended line to show the effect of apples and bananas, not just what they are, because of course they fall under the group of the heading of fruit, but of course, what is fruit used for? What's its effect? Its effect is that it gives you energy. And the same goes with rice. Then, of course, beef and chicken are not primarily foods for energy, but they're foods for building the body, repair, growth, and so on. So you can write growth here / repair. And this is the stage now where, rather than just seeing what each group contains and which terms fall into what group and how they're all connected, now you can also see what are their relative effects. What does what, basically. And that's very important. That also helps with a deeper level of understanding, rather than just learning the individual meanings of each of these words. It's good to see them overall and their effect on the big picture. Because when you do it like this, you can sort of remember more easily later on what everything means and does. So this is where we are going into the second stage of evaluation. And basically, these are the two main steps before we try to use this information in the third and final stage, which is apply.